You knew. You knew that once you tried feederism, you wouldn't be able to stop. You knew control would slip through your fingers like melted butter. You knew all along. Refusing to admit it doesn't make you less of a bloated, overstuffed pig. This is what you wanted, isn't it? The thing that made your heart race. The thing that made you squirm the moment you said, I just want to try it. I'll just gain a couple of pounds. And even then you knew. Buried deep in your subconscious, whispering from the shadows, you knew. You'd lose control. You'd get addicted. That feeling of your gut swelling, taut and heavy, pinning you to the bed. Unable to sit up, barely able to breathe. That was the dream. And you knew it. 5 pounds became 10. 10 became 20. 20 became 40. And still you blinked and pretended you were surprised. You outgrew your clothes. Stuffed yourself into shirts that clung to your belly like shrink wrap. Felt the seams scream as your love handles spilled out. Felt the buttons burst off your pants one by one. You said it was just one stuffing, one experiment, but from that first bite, you knew. You knew how horny it made you. How the pressure in your gut drove you wild. You knew how it would end. Touching yourself with one hand. Cradling your round, hard belly with the other. Wincing every time it jiggled under your own greedy touch. And still you fed. You fed. You feasted. Night after night, your takeout orders multiplied. You laughed with embarrassment when the same pizza guy showed up again and again and again, until you couldn't lift yourself off the couch without a grunt, until your body fought gravity. Speaking of gravity, who knew your belly would drop? That it would hang lower and lower, stretching heavier every day. You knew it would enter the room before you did, and still you got fatter. You knew. You knew you'd start squeezing out the bottom of your shirts, that your gut would jiggle with every step, that one day your arms wouldn't even reach around it anymore. You knew that this would take over your entire life, embarrassed to see your friends again, shamed when family didn't recognize you, and yet, every moment they looked away from your plate, every awkward pause, every polite silence, you loved it. Admit it. You knew the teasing would come. The jabs, the laughter, the pokes to your gut, and every single one made your heart pound. You went home that night and stuffed yourself. You outgrew your furniture, collapsed chairs, bent frames. You took the arms off your office chair just to fit. You knew that would happen too. You'd lie there back on the floor, too stuffed to move, the ruins of your chair beneath you, and still you'd be thinking about dessert. You knew your appetite would win, that food would become everything, and you loved it. You'd play with your soft, fat rolls, feel your thighs thicken, watch your cheeks puff up, see your rings get tighter, and you couldn't stop. Oh, then you promised you'd quit. You looked in the mirror, swore it was the last time, Googled gyms, downloaded calorie trackers, and then you ordered 2 value meals and a shake. You knew the doctor would be horrified when they used the word obese. You knew you'd nod solemnly, then hit the drive-thrus before you got home. You knew you'd lose sight of your toes, that your clothes would rip in public, that you'd break the scale. And when it shattered under you, you loved it. Stuffed yourself until you were panting from pleasure and pressure. Food and sex became one. Each bite a moan, each comment a turn on, the humiliation. It fed you more than the food ever could. And now look at you. Swollen, heavy, obsessed. Still pretending that this wasn't the plan all along. You knew. You knew exactly where this would go. And let's face it, you know that this isn't going to stop.